When was the last time you looked at your life and truly asked yourself, am I getting better every day, or am I just existing? Most people never stop to ask that question, and that's exactly why they stay stuck, living the same days, repeating the same choices, wishing for change but never creating it. The truth is, your life is either moving forward or falling behind. There is no pause button. Every single day, you're either becoming stronger, wiser, more focused, or weaker, more distracted, and further away from the person you could be. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It's a choice you make daily, often in silence, when no one is watching. It's in those unseen moments, when you wake up early, push yourself a little harder, stay consistent when motivation fades, that your future is being built. Most people think success is a big event, a sudden breakthrough, a lucky moment. But that's a lie. Success is small, boring, quiet. It's built in repetition, in discipline, in daily effort. The person who improves just a little bit each day will always outgrow the one who waits for a miracle. You don't need to transform everything at once. You don't need to have it all figured out. All you need is the courage to get a little better today than you were yesterday. That's it. Because when you do that, when you commit to growth as a daily habit, you shift the entire direction of your life. Improvement creates momentum. Momentum builds belief, and belief changes everything. But here's the part most people ignore. The small things matter more than you think. The thoughts you allow, the habits you repeat, the choices you make when no one's looking. These invisible actions decide your visible results. They decide whether your life becomes a story of growth or a cycle of regret. That's why improvement isn't something you do when you feel like it. It's something you build into who you are. Because when you stop improving, you stop evolving. And when you stop evolving, you start dying slowly inside. You owe it to yourself to grow, not for validation, not for recognition, but because you were not born to stay the same. Every breath you take is an opportunity to rise above the person you were yesterday. Every sunrise gives you another chance to become more focused, more disciplined, more alive. And the greatest reward is not the success you gain, it's the strength, clarity, and peace you build along the way. If you want more from life, it begins right here with the decision to improve something about yourself every single day. Because each day you grow, life opens new doors. You begin to think differently, act differently, and attract differently. The person you're meant to become is waiting for you, but they can only appear if you have the courage to start improving now. So don't let another day slip away. This moment is your chance. Stay with me, because by the end of this journey, you'll know exactly what to focus on daily and how to transform your life one powerful choice at a time. Most people say they want to grow, but deep down, they fear what growth demands. Because improvement asks you to confront the truth about yourself, the patterns, the excuses, the moment you chose comfort over courage. And that truth isn't easy to face. It's painful to realize how often you've stood in your own way. But that pain is a gift, because awareness is the first step toward freedom. You can't change what you refuse to see. You can't evolve while clinging to denial. The moment you stop running from your own reflection, you begin to rise. The reason most people stay stuck isn't because they lack talent or opportunity. It's because they keep waiting for the right time, the perfect plan, the easy path. But life doesn't reward hesitation. It rewards movement. Growth is messy. It's uncomfortable. It demands sacrifice. You will have to let go of old habits, old thoughts, old versions of yourself that no longer serve the future you want. And that's why so many never change. They want transformation without disruption, improvement without effort, results without responsibility. If you've ever felt frustrated, like no matter what you do, life doesn't move forward, understand this. Nothing changes until you do. You cannot rise while thinking the same way, doing the same things, expecting a different result. Every cycle you repeat is a reflection of a choice you refuse to change. The mind is wired to seek safety, to keep you comfortable, even if comfort is killing your potential. But you are not your programming. You are not your past. The human brain can rewire itself through consistent action. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you rewrite who you are becoming. That's why small acts of courage matter. Saying no to distractions, facing the difficult truth, doing what you said you'd do even when no one's watching. These moments may seem small, but they are powerful signals to your subconscious mind. They tell it that you are not here to settle. And once your mind believes that, your life begins to shift. Confidence grows. Clarity sharpens. You start to see possibilities where you once saw limits. Change doesn't happen when you feel ready. It happens when you decide that staying the same is no longer acceptable. You felt that pull before, that quiet voice telling you there's more in you, that you're capable of something greater. That voice is not random. It's your potential calling for recognition. You can silence it and stay safe, or you can listen and step forward. But every time you ignore it, it grows quieter, until one day you stop hearing it at all. Don't let that happen. Don't become one of those people who talk about growth but never live it. You have one life. One chance to rise beyond your excuses and meet the person you were meant to become. Change is not an event waiting in the future. It's a decision waiting inside you now. Every day you delay, your dreams drift further away. But every moment you choose growth, you take back your power. And that's where transformation begins. Not in wishing, not in waiting, but in choosing. Everything begins in the mind. Every achievement, every failure, every moment of strength or surrender, it all starts with what you believe about yourself. The mind is the control center of your destiny. If your thoughts are weak, your life will follow. If your thoughts are powerful, your path will rise with them. That's why the first thing you must master every day is not your schedule, not your environment, not even your goals. It's your mindset. Because no matter how much you plan, if your mind is against you, you will always find a reason to quit. You can't live an extraordinary life with an ordinary mindset. You can't chase greatness while thinking like someone who fears failure. Every day you are feeding your mind something, either courage or doubt, strength or weakness, clarity or confusion. The world will constantly throw negativity at you, convincing you that you can't, that you're not ready, that success is for someone else. But your mind decides what to accept. You are not a victim of your thoughts. You are their architect. And the moment you take ownership of what enters your mind, you take control of your life. When fear speaks, the mind listens. But when purpose speaks, the soul responds. Every challenge, every obstacle is filtered through the lens of your mindset. A weak mindset sees problems. A strong mindset sees preparation. A defeated mind asks, why me? A focused mind asks, what can I learn from this? This shift is what separates those who evolve from those who crumble. Your mindset defines not just how you see the world, but how you see yourself within it. You have to train your thoughts like you train your body. Feed them truth, discipline, and resilience. Remind yourself that every struggle is a step, every delay is direction, every rejection is redirection. The mind must be strengthened daily because doubt doesn't vanish. It waits for the days you feel tired, the days you forget who you are. That's why mindset work is never done. You build it through silence, through self-awareness, through constant alignment between what you want and what you believe you deserve. If you keep telling yourself you're not enough, you'll live as if you aren't. But the moment you decide to see yourself as capable, worthy, and powerful, you begin to move differently. Confidence is not arrogance. It's alignment between your inner truth and your outer action. The world mirrors what you project, and your mindset is the signal you broadcast every day. If you send out hesitation, you'll receive resistance. If you send out strength, the world will begin to bend in your favor. So each morning, before the noise begins, take control of your mind. Guard it like treasure, because it is. Choose to focus on progress, not perfection. Choose thoughts that build, not destroy. Remind yourself that every moment is training. You are shaping the lens through which you experience life. Master that lens, and no setback can break you. Because once your mind believes, your body follows, your habits align, and your destiny unfolds. The battle for your future begins in your thoughts, and the victory belongs to those who choose power over doubt every single day. Your habits are the quiet architects of your destiny. They design your future when you're not paying attention. Every action you repeat, every routine you maintain, every decision you make without thinking, it's all shaping who you are becoming. Success isn't built on what you do. Occasionally, it's built on what you do consistently. The small habits you repeat each day will either build you or break you. And the truth is, your future self is being written right now by what you choose to do in the present moment. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. You can dream big, talk big, plan big, but if your habits stay small, your life will too, because habits are stronger than motivation. Motivation fades, emotion changes, but habits endure. They take over when you don't feel like showing up. They carry you when your mind tries to quit. That's why, if you want real growth, you must take control of your daily patterns. You must choose discipline over impulse, consistency over comfort. Every habit you build sends a message to your subconscious mind. When you follow through, even in small things, you tell yourself, I can be trusted, I keep my word, I'm someone who finishes what I start. And that builds power. But when you break your own promises, when you say you'll start tomorrow, your mind learns the opposite. It learns that your words mean nothing. That's why self-discipline is not just about performance, it's about identity. Every choice you make is casting a vote for the kind of person you are becoming. Most people underestimate the power of tiny habits. They think growth must be dramatic. But transformation is rarely loud. It's quiet, subtle, invisible. It happens when you choose water over comfort, action over delay, learning over distraction. These small victories compound. Like drops of water shaping stone, your habits carve out the person you were meant to be. If you repeat weakness, weakness becomes your nature. If you repeat strength, strength becomes your default. The greatest transformation begins with one decision to replace one destructive habit with one empowering one. Start where you are. Don't chase perfection, chase alignment. Each time you choose a habit that reflects your higher self, you're building momentum toward a future that matches your potential. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about doing one thing well, consistently, until it becomes part of you. There will be days when you slip, when you fall, when old habits call you back. Don't let that define you. One mistake doesn't erase your progress, giving up does. Growth is not about never failing. It's about always returning to what matters. Each time you rise again, the habit of resilience grows stronger. So take a moment and look at your daily life. What are you repeating? What actions are you normalizing? Because those small choices are shaping your destiny in silence. The life you desire will never come from random effort. It will come from deliberate repetition. Build habits that serve your purpose. Protect them, guard them, live them. Because the moment your habits align with your vision, your entire life begins to shift in ways you never imagined possible. Focus is the gatekeeper of all achievement. Without it, even the greatest potential is scattered, wasted, lost in noise. The modern world is built to steal your attention, to keep you busy, distracted, entertained, unfocused. But every distraction comes with a cost. Every moment spent on what doesn't matter is a moment stolen from what does. And that's why mastering focus isn't just about productivity. It's about reclaiming your life from everything that tries to control it. Your attention is your most valuable currency. Wherever you invest it, growth follows. If you pour it into negativity, you'll strengthen doubt. If you invest it in clarity, you'll expand your power. Every scroll, every notification, every pointless distraction is training your brain to scatter. And when your focus is divided, your direction disappears. You can't build a meaningful life while living in fragments. Focus is the bridge between intention and reality. It's what turns thought into action, and action into transformation. The reason most people never reach their goals isn't lack of talent, it's divided attention. They chase too many things, listen to too many voices, start too many paths. But success belongs to those who learn the power of narrowing their vision. Because when your focus is sharp, your energy becomes precise. You stop fighting everything and start channeling yourself toward one purpose. And that's when momentum begins. When all your power moves in one direction, you must train your focus like a muscle. It weakens when neglected. It grows stronger through discipline. Begin by cutting out what doesn't move you forward. Every distraction you eliminate is energy reclaimed. Every boundary you set is a declaration that your dreams deserve your full attention. Don't let the world decide where your mind goes. Take back that control. Direct it with intention. Protect it with urgency. The ability to focus deeply is rare, and that's why it's powerful. While most drift between impulses, the focused build empires in silence. They understand that mastery comes from immersion, not multitasking. They don't chase everything. They commit to one thing until it becomes extraordinary. When you focus deeply, you begin to notice patterns, insights, opportunities that others miss. Clarity opens doors confusion could never find. You have to understand, every time you allow distraction to win, you're telling your future that it doesn't matter. But when you choose focus, you're telling the universe you're ready to handle more. Because life rewards the disciplined. It gives more to those who manage what they already have. The power to direct your attention is the power to shape your destiny. So decide what deserves your energy. Guard it, nurture it, channel it, because whatever holds your focus holds your future. The world will always try to pull you off course, to drown you in noise, to make you forget what truly matters. But your focus is your anchor. It's what keeps your vision alive when the world tries to blur it. Master it, and you become unstoppable. Every dream, every goal, every transformation you seek begins and ends with where you choose to place your attention. Your body is the vessel that carries your purpose. It holds your energy, your focus, your power. Yet most people treat it as an afterthought, neglecting the very foundation upon which their entire life is built. You cannot create a sharp mind in a tired body. You cannot expect clarity when you fuel yourself with chaos. The strength of your thoughts, the depth of your discipline, the fire of your ambition, all of it depends on the energy that flows through you. If your body is weak, your mind will struggle to rise above it. That's why taking care of yourself is not vanity, it's strategy. Every dream you chase requires energy. Every challenge you face demands stamina. The quality of your health determines the quality of your performance. When you move your body, you move your mind. When you breathe deeply, you quiet chaos. When you fuel yourself with care, you align your inner power with your outer action. This is not about perfection. It's about respect. The kind of respect that says, I honor the body that allows me to show up. The world glorifies hustle, but true strength comes from balance. You cannot pour from an empty vessel. You cannot build consistency when your energy is depleted. Every late night, every skipped meal, every ignored signal from your body accumulates. Over time, neglect turns into exhaustion, and exhaustion becomes burnout. You can't live with fire when your foundation is crumbling. You must treat health as your daily investment, not your occasional correction. Each time you move, you remind yourself that you are alive. Exercise is not punishment, it's power. It's how you teach your mind to push through resistance. It's how you train your spirit to endure. The discipline it takes to care for your body will echo into every other area of your life. Because when you choose strength, your mind follows. When you choose stillness, your emotions balance. When you choose nourishment, your focus sharpens. Health is more than appearance. It's energy, clarity, presence. It's the calm that allows you to think clearly under pressure. It's the resilience that helps you rise when everything feels heavy. A strong body becomes a container for a strong mind. It gives you the endurance to stay consistent when others quit. It allows you to carry your dreams without collapsing under their weight. If you want to live with power, treat your body like the temple it is. Move daily even when you don't feel like it. Feed yourself with intention, not impulse. Rest without guilt, because rest is not weakness, it's recovery. And recovery is what allows you to keep fighting when the journey gets long. Every time you take care of yourself, you send a message to your future, I'm preparing for more. Your body hears it, your mind feels it, your energy reflects it. You cannot reach your highest potential while ignoring the vessel that must carry you there. So breathe deeply, move intentionally, live consciously, because when your body aligns with your purpose, there is no mountain you cannot climb. Discipline is the bridge between intention and achievement. It's what turns your vision into reality, your desire into direction, your words into results. Without discipline, dreams remain ideas, untouched, unfinished, and unrealized. Motivation might spark action, but it's discipline that sustains it. It's the force that keeps you moving when emotions fade, when excitement disappears, when no one is watching. Every great transformation is built upon the foundation of self-control, because the truth is simple. If you cannot command yourself, life will command you. Discipline isn't about restriction, it's about liberation. It frees you from the chaos of impulse, from the pull of distraction, from the grip of inconsistency. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you prove to yourself that your will is stronger than your weakness. You train your mind to follow purpose, not emotion. You build a reputation with yourself, a reputation that says, I finish what I start. I show up even when I don't feel like it. And that reputation becomes confidence. There's power in doing what must be done, even when it's difficult. Each disciplined choice rewires your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who tries and start becoming someone who executes. The gap between who you are and who you want to be is closed by consistent action. Not once, not sometimes, but every day. And it's that daily consistency that transforms ordinary people into unstoppable forces. Most people fail not because they're incapable, but because they're inconsistent. They depend on how they feel, not on what they've committed to. But discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It asks what you want. Feelings change, commitment doesn't. When you live by discipline, you take emotion out of the equation. You act not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. That's where growth happens. in the moments when you move forward despite resistance. You'll be tempted to quit. You'll face days when everything inside you screams to take the easier path. But remember this, comfort is temporary, regret is permanent. Every time you give in, you strengthen your excuses. Every time you push through, you strengthen your spirit. Discipline is not punishment, it's preparation. It molds you for what you've been asking for. The success you seek requires a version of you that's stronger, sharper, and more consistent than the one you are now. And discipline is the path to becoming that version. You cannot control every outcome, but you can control your effort. You can control whether you show up, whether you give your best, whether you keep your word. Discipline is the ultimate equalizer. It doesn't care where you start, it only cares if you stay. The person who masters discipline becomes unstoppable, not because life gets easier, but because they become stronger. So when the doubt comes, when fatigue whispers, when the world tempts you to slow down, remember, every moment of discipline is a step toward freedom. Every act of consistency is a declaration that you will not be ruled by weakness. You are stronger than your impulses, greater than your excuses, and capable of far more than you think. Discipline is the proof. Excuses are the chains that keep potential locked away. They sound reasonable, they feel safe, and they justify staying small. But every excuse you make becomes a wall between you and the life you say you want. The mind is clever. It will always find a reason to delay, to wait, to explain why now isn't the time. But growth has no patience for excuses. Progress doesn't wait for permission. Every time you choose an excuse, you trade your future for comfort. And comfort, though it feels good in the moment, slowly steals your strength. Excuses are built from fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of stepping into the unknown. They convince you that you're protecting yourself when in reality, you're only protecting your limits. You cannot rise while defending your weaknesses. You cannot evolve while clinging to reasons that keep you still. Growth demands honesty. The kind of honesty that looks in the mirror and says, the only thing in my way is me. That realization can hurt, but it's the beginning of power. Because the moment you take responsibility, you reclaim control. Accountability is freedom. It's the act of saying, I am not waiting for anyone to save me. I will save myself. When you stop blaming circumstances, people, or timing, you strip away the illusions that keep you powerless. You begin to see that every choice, every delay, every action or inaction shapes your direction. Life is not happening to you, it's responding to you. Excuses are signals of avoidance. They reveal where you've given away your power. The antidote is simple but not easy. Take it back. Own your story. Own your effort. Own your results. Each time you break an excuse, you strengthen your belief in yourself. You teach your mind that it can act even without certainty, that it can move even through doubt. The world doesn't reward intentions. It rewards execution. You can have dreams, plans, and visions, but if excuses guide your behavior, none of them will manifest. Every breakthrough requires friction. Every new level demands responsibility. When you face the truth instead of hiding behind it, you become unstoppable. Excuses are comfortable because they remove pressure. But pressure is what creates growth. Diamonds form under it. So do strong minds. So do great lives. When you stop excusing and start executing, you begin to see what you're truly capable of. You stop being limited by circumstances and start being defined by consistency. Excuses dissolve when purpose is stronger than fear. That's why clarity matters. When you know why you're doing something, no reason is big enough to stop you. You have to decide which voice to listen to, the one that tells you to wait, or the one that dares you to act. One will keep you comfortable, the other will change your life. The difference between the person who succeeds and the one who doesn't isn't talent or luck, it's accountability. One keeps promises, the other keeps excuses. You already have everything you need to rise. The only thing left is the choice to stop explaining why you can't and start proving that you can. Every day you wake up, you're given a choice, rise or remain. The world will not hand you strength, you must build it. No one will arrive to hand you motivation. It's forged in silence and struggle, in the unseen moments when no one claps, no one cares, and no one is watching. That's where transformation begins. Not when everything feels aligned, but when everything feels heavy and you still move. The act of showing up when it's hard rewires your identity. Each time you push through resistance, you prove that you're not ruled by emotion, but by intention. That's how warriors are made, one choice at a time, one act of discipline stacked over another until strength becomes your nature. The mind will always look for an easier path, but ease is never the architect of greatness. If life gave you everything without effort, you'd never know your own power. The grind, the repetition, the struggle, they're not punishment, they're refinement. You're being sculpted by the very challenges you wish to escape. The discomfort you feel is not the enemy, it's the signal that you're stepping outside the boundaries of your old self. Growth never feels good while it's happening. It stretches, it breaks patterns, it exposes weakness. But beneath every ounce of discomfort lies a layer of untapped potential waiting to be awakened. Your emotions will tempt you to quit. They'll whisper, rest, you've done enough. But growth doesn't care about feelings. It responds to consistency. It respects discipline. You cannot wait until you feel ready. Readiness is born from repetition, not motivation. If you only act when inspired, you'll spend your life waiting for permission from a mood that never arrives. The true masters of life act even when the fire fades. They don't chase motivation, they build momentum. Because momentum is stronger than emotion. It carries you forward even on days when your spirit is tired. The secret is to stop negotiating with yourself. Every time you bargain with your limits, you feed them. Every time you justify slowing down, you strengthen your excuses. Discipline is not about denying pleasure. It's about choosing purpose over impulse. It's reminding yourself that temporary comfort will never equal long-term fulfillment. You can't build a legacy while living for convenience. You can't discover who you are while avoiding what challenges you. The pain you resist is the doorway to your power. Walk through it. Your future self is watching every decision you make. The person you are becoming depends on the choices you make today. You can either continue feeding weakness or start training greatness. Every repetition, every sacrifice, every hard decision is a message to your future that says, I'm coming, and one day, you'll meet that version of yourself, strong, unshakable, and proud that you refused to settle when quitting was easier. The path isn't meant to be easy. It's meant to make you worthy of the life you dream of. The question is no longer can you do it, it's will you choose to. The hardest battle you'll ever fight is not against the world. It's against the voice inside that tells you to stay where you are. That whisper that says you've done enough, it's not worth it, you'll never make it. That voice is not truth. It's resistance. It's the mind's defense mechanism built to keep you safe, not successful. Every time you rise above it, you weaken its hold. Every time you ignore its fear, you reclaim control. Growth begins the moment you stop letting your emotions dictate your effort. You don't need to feel powerful to act powerfully. You just need to act. The mind loves comfort because it confuses comfort with peace. But comfort never brings peace. It brings stagnation. Real peace is earned through progress. It's the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you're becoming more than you were yesterday. When you challenge yourself, you give your soul permission to expand. When you stop running from difficulty, you discover strength that was always there, buried beneath hesitation and fear. Every act of courage rewires your belief system. You begin to realize that the things that once scared you were never bigger than you. They only appeared that way when you stood still. The difference between those who rise and those who remain is not talent, not luck, not opportunity. It's repetition. The greats don't wait for the perfect moment. They create it through consistent effort. They understand that mastery is not built in bursts of energy, but in daily persistence. You can't change your life in a single day, but you can change the direction of your life in a single decision, the decision to start again when it would be easier to stop. You are always one decision away from a completely different future. There's a reason most people give up. They want results before they've earned resilience, but progress doesn't reward impatience, it rewards endurance. The person who can show up when it's hard, who can keep going without applause, who can sacrifice pleasure for purpose, that person cannot be defeated. The universe bends to those who refuse to break. Every delay, every disappointment, every failure is not a sign that you're losing. It's a test of whether you're serious about what you say you want. If your vision collapses at the first sign of struggle, it was never built on commitment, it was built on convenience. To improve daily is to declare war on mediocrity. It's to look at every moment as a chance to sharpen your edge. It's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. You don't rise by luck, you rise by design. You choose your thoughts, you guard your focus, you treat every day as an opportunity to build something within that no one can take away. And when you do, the world will feel your shift. People will see something different in your eyes, not arrogance, but certainty. The quiet strength of someone who stopped waiting for change and decided to become it. Because the truth is, nothing will ever change until you do. You cannot build a powerful life on weak habits. Every day you repeat an action, you're not just shaping your schedule, you're shaping your identity. Your habits become your reflection. What you do consistently defines who you become permanently. That's why small choices matter. The decision to rise early, to focus when others drift, to stay disciplined when no one demands it. These are not random acts. They're votes for the person you're becoming. Every repetition carves a pathway in your mind, strengthening the identity of someone who follows through, who doesn't run from responsibility, who refuses to live beneath their potential. The truth is, no one drifts into greatness. You don't stumble into purpose by accident, you build it brick by brick, habit by habit, decision by decision. Your daily disciplines are the foundation beneath your future. If you want clarity, build consistency. If you want confidence, build discipline. You cannot wait to feel motivated. You must create momentum through motion. The more you act, the more power you gain, because action is the antidote to doubt. Every small victory rewires your belief system, proving to your subconscious that you are capable, that you are growing, that you are not the same as before. But most people sabotage their progress by seeking instant gratification over long-term transformation. They chase comfort in the moment and wonder why they remain stuck. True growth requires patience. It demands that you trade the fleeting pleasure of now for the lasting fulfillment of becoming. When you delay gratification, you declare that your future matters more than your impulses. You stop living for approval and start living for alignment. You begin to value discipline not as punishment, but as liberation. The freedom to choose what truly serves your purpose, not what simply feels good in the moment. Habits are not just about what you do, they're about what you tolerate. Every time you skip what you said you do, you teach your mind that your words mean nothing. Every time you show up, even when it's inconvenient, you strengthen your integrity. Success isn't built on talent, it's built on trust. Trust in yourself, trust in your ability to stay the course. When you can count on your own commitment, you become unstoppable. You stop needing motivation because you've built reliability into your character. You become someone who acts, not out of feeling, but out of identity. The strongest version of you is hidden behind your daily choices. You don't find it by waiting. You build it by living each day with intention. You shape your destiny by mastering your habits. You don't rise by accident, you rise by design. And when you look back one day, you'll realize the greatest transformation didn't happen in a single breakthrough moment. It happened quietly in the ordinary days, when no one saw the effort but you refused to settle. That's where the real victory was, in the discipline to keep improving, even when no one was watching. Your growth will always demand your honesty. You can't transform while lying to yourself. You can't improve while pretending everything is fine. Real progress begins when you stop hiding from your truth. When you finally face the parts of yourself that need work, the excuses, the patterns, the fears you keep justifying, that's when change begins. Most people don't fail because they lack potential. They fail because they lack self-awareness. They keep repeating the same mistakes, blaming everything around them, never realizing the barrier isn't external, it's internal. Growth starts the moment you take full ownership, the moment you stop saying, "Why me?" and start asking, "What can I learn from this?" Accountability is the bridge between intention and transformation. You can have all the dreams in the world, but until you hold yourself accountable, they mean nothing. Accountability is not about guilt, it's about responsibility. It's standing in front of the mirror and saying, "If I want better, I must become better." That realization is power. It frees you from the illusion that someone else controls your destiny. It gives you back authority over your life. Because as long as you blame, you surrender your strength. The moment you accept that you are the cause, you also realize you are the cure. But accountability isn't comfortable. It's a confrontation. It requires you to see where you've been avoiding effort, where you've been settling, where you've been lying to protect your ego. Yet that discomfort is sacred. It's the birthplace of transformation. When you choose truth over comfort, you open the door to real growth. You begin to strip away the layers of denial and step into clarity. And clarity gives you direction, it gives you power, because you can't change what you refuse to confront. The reason honesty is so difficult is because it exposes the gap between who you are and who you could be. But that gap is not shame, it's potential. It's the space where you evolve. If you have the courage to look at it, to admit that you're not where you want to be yet, you've already taken the first step. Most people spend their lives running from that truth, hiding behind distractions, busyness, or blame, but the brave choose to face it. They see honesty not as a wound, but as a weapon. Because truth cuts away illusion, it makes you sharper, stronger, more aware. Improving daily means being willing to call yourself out, not to tear yourself down, but to rise higher. It means being humble enough to admit where you're falling short, and disciplined enough to do something about it. The strongest people you'll ever meet aren't perfect, they're honest. They've learned that self-deception is the heaviest chain, and self-awareness is the key that breaks it. When you begin to live truthfully, you stop living small. You stop hiding behind excuses. You begin to build a life rooted in integrity. One choice, one correction, one honest reflection at a time. Improvement is not a one-time act. It's a mindset. It's a daily decision to grow beyond yesterday's version of yourself. The moment you stop growing, you start decaying. Life doesn't pause for anyone. You're either advancing or falling behind. And every day, your thoughts, your habits, your actions are casting a vote for the kind of person you're becoming. That's why you can't afford to drift through your days. Drifting may feel easy, but it's the path to regret. Growth requires direction. It demands awareness. It asks you to be intentional with every step you take. Most people live reactively. They wait for life to force them to change. They only move when pain becomes unbearable. But those who rise, they choose to grow before they're forced to. They don't wait for the storm, they build strength in the calm. They understand that preparation is power. Every moment spent improving, even in silence, even in stillness, is a seed for the future. You don't see it growing yet, but one day, the world will. The results will reveal themselves, not through chance, but through daily commitment. Improvement begins in the mind. The way you think determines the way you live. If you tell yourself you're stuck, you'll never move. If you convince yourself you're not ready, you'll never begin. The mind believes what it's fed, so feed it purpose, feed it discipline, feed it vision. Replace doubt with direction. Replace excuses with execution. Because every thought you allow to stay becomes a belief, and every belief shapes your destiny. You can't become great while thinking small. You can't evolve while holding on to limitation. The quality of your thoughts defines the ceiling of your life. Raise the standard inside, and the world around you will rise with it. But improvement doesn't just happen in moments of clarity. It happens in moments of conflict. When you feel resistance, when your mind says, I can't, and you move anyway, that's growth. That's where transformation takes root. Strength isn't built in comfort, it's built in challenge. You improve not when things go smoothly, but when you choose discipline over doubt, action over hesitation, truth over comfort. Every small victory over your old self is a signal to your future, a declaration that you refuse to remain the same. You were not created to repeat yesterday forever. You were built to expand, to evolve, to outgrow every version of yourself. That's why progress feels uncomfortable, because it's stretching you beyond who you were. Don't mistake discomfort for failure. It's evidence that you're breaking through old limits. The pain of growth is temporary, but the pride of transformation lasts forever. When you commit to improving daily, life begins to open in ways you never imagined. You stop fearing change because you've become change. You stop waiting for opportunity because you've learned to create it. The world doesn't shape those who wait. It rewards those who work.